Hi guys. I took my first flight today after 8 months. My last flight was in March this year, and post corona I have now taken my first flight today. In fact, I took two flights today, and I have a very important travel tip to share. So you notice that some big airports have these contraptions which come and attach themselves to the front of the aircraft, and they're called Aero bridges, and then the entire aircraft has to disembark from the front of the aircraft. So that happened to me today on both my flights that I was taking. And believe you me, it was extremely disconcerting, very uncomfortable, and I was completely running out of patience because I was seated on the 31st row because I found a cheap ticket, a cheap seat rather, 50 rupees for a window seat, and I jumped for it and I was like, oh my god, when the hell am I going to get a window seat for 50 rupees? Does not matter that it's in the 31st row, because I thought that, when I can always exit from the rear exit. Nope, because the airports I landed on had aero bridges, and unfortunately I had to exit from the front of the aircraft. And because all airlines are following social distancing even while exiting aircrafts, the aircraft was being emptied row by row by row. So you can very well imagine, by the time it was time for me to disembark from the 31st row, 15 minutes had passed, and I was, we were all sitting uncomfortably in our seats. The air conditioning had been shut off, and it was really warm inside the aircraft, and we were just like, when the hell are we going to be able to get up and run out of here? So tip number one from my trip, first trip taken by air after the corona pandemic. Being cheap doesn't always pay. Sometimes it's better to be smart and take a seat in the middle of the aircraft, probably where the seats are maybe 150 per seat, and not as cheap as the 50 bucks, and not as expensive as the 1100, 1200, whatever in the front rows. But if you have a lot of time and a lot of patience, then of course you can take these 50 rupee seats. And that's my tip number one from Arunachal Pradesh shenanigans. And you can also follow us if you use the hashtag CianCrush 2020. Take care, stay tuned, and I'll be back with more.